This is a story time of how I joined a department in my church. Welcome back, guys, to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you're new to this channel or you've been here before and you've not subscribed to my channel, guys, click on the subscription button showing below now. It's right down there. Just click on it and it's absolutely free. Like, comment and share with your friends. Thank you so much. Thank you. And let's go back to the story of how I joined the department in my church. If you watched my previous story time, you hear me say in my how I gave my life to Christ, my salvation story, how the worship segment kind of calmed my spirit to listen to the message from the pastor, and through that message I was able to give my life to Christ. And after that service, the lady that led the praise and worship, then she was one kind of following me up afterwards. And I remember she told me that she was in the choir, and I really loved the way she led the worship that day. So I told her I wanted to be part of the choir. But before I say what happened next, let me backtrack a little bit to when I was in, let me say for instance, for my childhood actually, because when I was between the age of like 4 to 10, were attending CAC. It was like a Yoruba church, and I was in the choir. I was in the children choir, and we used to have like our own special ministrations every Sunday, and I used to be the one leading most of that ministration in the choir then fast forward to when I got into college. By the time I got to college, my dad had changed his church. By that time, I believe he was attending MFM. So we're following him to MFM. We got to my college. It was a Christian-based college, and I was in the boarding house. So it was mixed with day and boarding student. So in the boarding segment, we used to have morning devotions. They wake us up with like bells in the morning around 4:30, and someone would have to lead praise and worship before we all go shower and prepare for school. Most people don't like being in the morning devotion. They like the night one because then they are still active and fully awake, compared to when they're just waking you up from like a very deep sleep with bells, alarm and all that. And somehow my name used to be on that list, the morning one, because I was really short then, and so my name used to be on that list, and I used to feel very horrible standing up to lead praise and worship and lead the prayer in the mornings. But I did it anyways because I had no option. Somehow I kind of found myself also in the church choir, in the school choir department, because the Redeemed Church then were the ones organizing our services in the boarding house then. So I joined the choir, and one of the reasons I joined, I won't lie to you guys, was because of some of the advantages that came with it. Like, for instance, every Saturday, because of our choir rehearsal, we have to leave our dormitory and we have to leave the school gate to another building to rehearse. So I just like that idea that I'm coming out of the dormitory where we've been we can go out as brothers. So I always look forward to that Saturday where I'll just go outside the school, even if it's just 5 minutes walk to the next building. I was just so happy and relieved. So because of that, I persisted with that department. No matter how they provoked me there, I will stay. I was there because I knew that Saturday I would go out, and sometimes after choir rehearsal we still have like 30 minutes to stroll around the school building before we go back to our dormitory. So I always look forward to that every Saturday. And other things like maybe there's an event in another school and they will take all the choirs down there, so I looked forward. MFM, that I don't even like their doctrine, because the MFM then, I don't know about now, you can wear earrings, you can wear trousers, you can do makeup, you can use attachment. I don't even know I found myself in the choir there because I really didn't like their doctrine. So I was also in the choir there for a short period before I got into the uni. So when I got to my uni, that's the interesting part also. The uni, we were the second set of students, and the way they usually do, I think they still do that in all the unis up to date. The new students will resume the first week, and the following week the older students will resume. So as new students, we resumed on, I remember it was a Sunday evening, because my uni is also like a boarding school. Students are not allowed to leave the school campus. We're not allowed to cook. We're not allowed to wear trousers. We're not allowed to wear skirts that is above our knees. We're not even allowed to wear something like this that will show our arms and all that. So when we resumed, everyone was new, nobody knowing each other. We go to our hostels, and the hostel supervisor, we called them porters then. The porters called all of us out and for night devotion, and somehow she picked me to lead praise and worship again that night. I was okay leading it because it was just girls and we were all new. So I was like, somebody has to do it anyways. But my greatest shock was when they wanted to pick someone to lead praise and worship for Sunday service, our first Sunday, the Sunday the old students will also be resuming. And they picked me out of 500 students, over 500 students. They picked me. When they picked me, I was not tensed at first until they showed me the auditorium where the service will be holding. It was this huge auditorium with a big stage, and I'll be standing on the stage leading these new people that I don't know from anywhere. We are all new in the school, and I don't even know what like domination they belong to, if it was MFM, if it was Redeem, if it was Winners, if it was Deeper Life. I didn't know. So I didn't even know the song that I could sing that would go with the whole group of people, that everybody. I was so tense, especially when I saw this stage and I saw that I'll be standing in the stage. Was so high, and where people, so everyone's attention would be like, their head will be literally up looking at me, and we're over 500. So I was really tense that Sunday. I remembered I was pacing to and fro, but to my amazement, that worship was one of the best worship I've led in my life. It was beautiful. It was God, like that day. And the reason why that day was special to me, because up until that time, even though I used to find myself in like choir department, I'd never identified myself as a singing person. My friends don't necessarily see me as would not define me as a musically inclined person. Let me put it that way. You know, there are certain people that anywhere they go, they like to express themselves that they are music, like they love music, they love to sing, they love to. I was never like that. In fact, you not even see me washing plate and I'm just like singing. No, you would never. Like, so it was amazing to me that it was like what would you call it, like an event, and I was standing and everyone watching, and I sang it so well. The service was beautiful as our first service, and because of that, they kind of approached me after the service when the older student came in, and they kind of invited me to join the school choir also. So I joined the school choir, but I think before I finished my program at the uni, I kind of left the school choir because I could not keep up with their rules and regulation about the no makeup, no this, no that, no this, no that. I was fine already with the skirt because that's the norm of the school, but being in the choir, there was more stringent regulations that had to do with our appearance, our talks, and the way we do things, which was not even inclined with my personality then, me that I was doing party, so it was not. So I left, I think by year 2 or year 3, I left the choir then. And so when I came to UK and I told this sister that I wanted to join the choir, she was really excited. But she now told me I have to do foundation school. Guys, that's why I was like, foundation, which one is foundation school again? So because in my mind then, let me add out what was going on in my mind, the way I was thinking. I was like, what's all this? Because we want to join choir now, you are now saying foundation school. Which one is foundation school? Yeah, why should I do it? You should be happy that somebody wants to join the workforce, like all those kind of things. So in my mind, I was like, I'm not doing this foundation school, therefore I'm not joining the department. But 1 week went by, second week, by the third week, I believe I was already speaking in tongues because I prayed concerning it. But by the 4th week, it was almost like every person I was getting close to unintentionally in the church were in the choir. I would not lie. Then my choir leader and his wife, somehow, even though I just became close with them, I started becoming close with people that were in the choir that I didn't even know that. I didn't even know how the relationship came across or something. So I was like, okay, I'll do the foundation school. I'll join the choir. I'll do their foundation. I did the foundation school. I joined the choir. I really loved it. Like, I joined the choir. When I joined the choir, I just joined the choir with the mentality of anytime I'm available, I will join their rehearsals. I will join the ministration. But with time, as I grew in the things of God, I started prioritizing my ministration, the choir, to work. For instance, even if I wanted to get a job, then I'll look at the time frame of the job before I pick it, before I apply for it, because I didn't want it to hinder my ministry. Now I was seeing administration, the singing thing, as a ministry, as something like a calling. So at that point, it was at the top of my priority. And why am I sharing this story? And to date, I'm still in the choir. I'm still carrying out. I'm still serving in that department, and I'm serving with wonderful and beautiful people in that choir also. But why am I sharing that story today? Is because I've come across many people that say, I just prefer being a member in the church. I don't want anybody to step on my toe. I don't want to join any department. I don't want to get myself involved in drama or whatever. I've heard people say that. But I would say being in a department was what saved me in my most trying times and days. I would not lie. Because there were some points that I faced certain things as an individual, personal things as an individual, that it was so discouraging to stand up to go to church. But then I would think, hey, if pastor don't see me in church as a choir member, they are going to be calling, where are you? Why didn't you see you in church? And I don't want to lie. I don't want to say I'm sick, I'm this, I'm that. Because then you're in a ministry that tells you is what you say you get. So you are very careful not to even lie, to say I'm sick, something like that. So those times when I feel discouraged and I don't want to go to church, I would just, when I think of how many people, my leaders that are going to call me to say, why are you not in church? I'll just get up and go to church. There were even times that because currently, like, I'm serving in the capacity of leading the choir. I remember there was even a time that I was asking God, you know, when you're going through tough times and you're going through trying times, because my pastor used to say, challenges will come. He's not worried when challenges come to you, but what he's worried about is when you get stuck in that place. When you get stuck, as long as you are passing through the challenge, that's fine. But if you're stuck in that challenge, that's where he's worried. So I remember those times, sometimes as the capacity I'm serving in at the moment, like leading the choir, I used to pray to God that he should send more laborers. And now I know why God didn't answer some of those my prayers. Was because I was asking for a selfish purpose. Let me tell you why I was asking. I was asking because I was hoping that people will come to the choir, join the choir. People who have like similar love and passion for ministration like that. Because so that the times where I'm not happy or I'm discouraged to be in church, someone at least will be responsible enough to minister and everything like that, so I don't actually have to be in church, so I can literally give my pastor a good excuse for not coming to church, and my mind, you know, my conscience will be at peace that at least I'm not there, but someone can do it. But God did not answer those my prayer, because it was like it was like some of the services I have to be there. Like personally, I felt like I have to be there. So even if I feel tired, discouraged, going through something, that was what saved me. That was that was one thing that helped me not to be in a dark place. And when I say dark place, you know what I mean. Like, because there are some things you go through in life sometimes. It's just you, God, and the Holy Spirit that will understand. If I was not in a department that would make me stand up to say, oh, I'm going to church, I know that I would not even like that. Sometimes I'll call my pastor and I'll say, I'm sorry, sir, I can't make it to church today. And I will look for that excuse that is not a lie. At the same time, on a normal day, is something I can walk my way around and be in church. And when you are expecting him to say, oh, thank you, Sister Hannah, thank you for telling me that, what you just see is I'm in front of your house to pick you up, or you stand up right now, dress up and be in church right now. So I'm just thinking, if I didn't have those kind of things, like that kind of voice, that kind of leadership, that kind of accountability that keeps me, that say, where would I have been by now? Where would I have been by now? And that's why I feel being in a department is very important, because you are accountable for something. And when you're not seen, someone is, at least somebody will call you, somebody will come and pick you and say, sister, you're not supposed to be there. You know, my leader then sometimes even I'll say, sorry, I can't make it. To say, sister, and dress up and be coming. In fact, to date, my pastor still does that for many of us. Like when we call him, he knows that this person is lying. There is no way. Auntie, get up, be in church. So that saved me from a lot of things. And serving in department, there are some things you don't pray for. There are some things you find yourself doing, and some things you don't pray for, that you just be looking, how did this thing happen? Because me, I look at my worship session when I'm like, even I'm blessing people, I'm doing the Lord's work, and God is seeing me to that. Because, you know, being in the choir, sometimes you have times where pastor will be like, oh, if you want me to pray for you about something, come outside. You can't come outside because you are in the choir. You are the one that is singing the song that would working with the pastor, ministering with the pastor to bless the people. So you can't even come out, even if you have something you want pastor to pray for you about, you know. So you're in the choir. So in those times, I'll be like, God, you could see my heart that I need this thing. Touch pastor's heart to just declare that word, so that me, I'll just lambano it from where I'm standing from. And it has saved me a lot. It has saved me. And that's why I want to encourage you today. In case you have been in church for many years, or you just joined a church, or you just gave your life to Christ, and your plan is just to be a member. You don't want to be in a department. There's nothing you do in this life that doesn't come with drama. Join a department today. That would help your walk of faith. It will help your journey. It will help you choose your friends. To be sincere, I don't think there's anybody that knows me as a person that if they want to invite me to something also, they don't consider my attendance in church first. They do, because that's what they know me for. So it's just a way of encouraging you with my story today. So make sure you join a department in your church, whichever church you're attending. Join a department, be active, be effective, because that is what God has called us to be co-laborers with him. Thank you so much, guys, for watching today's video with me. Share your story with me. If you're in any department in your church, let me know the department that you're functioning in, and let's be friends. Thank you so much, guys, and bye for now. I'll be back with another story time another time. Bye.